So it took a while for me to admit that I was gay. I mean, I knew that I had the feelings, I knew that there was something there, but it took years for me to accept it. Like I said, I think I realized my sexuality when I was around 11 or 12 years old. Probably didn't actually accept it until I was a junior in high school. Um, and so one day, this was a month after my 18th birthday, I was getting ready to go to sleep, going to bed, and one of my very, very best friend, we've been best friends since I was 11 and he was 10 years old. And he gives me a call because he was having girl issues. Um, and me being his best friend, he wanted somebody to talk to. Because, I mean, in all seriousness, he was struggling with it. He really was having a difficult time. And of course, I wanted to be there for him. Of course, I wanted to help him out with whatever it is he wanted to talk about. So we must have talked for about 2 hours or so, I think. And it got and you know eventually got to the point where he was feeling a lot better and you know he was starting to figure things out and I was glad and I thought that the conversation would end right there and I think what he ended up saying near the end of that was, well, Hark, it's really easy for you to say because you have such a perfect life, jokingly, of course. And I of course said, I have no idea what you're talking about, man, because I mean, I have problems just like anyone else. Plenty of problems and issues that I deal with. And so, of course, naturally, he asks me, oh, yeah, then, like what, for example? What's probably the one thing that you're struggling with the most? And, yeah, I really did not at first want to say anything at that moment because I just wasn't prepared for it. I mean, I didn't wake up that morning thinking, hey, I was going to come out to the very first person uh, for the first time that day. Um, but I think he could tell that there was something on my mind that was bothering me, and it was more than just, me having a bad day. So he eventually got me to open up, and I basically dropped the ball on him, and I came out to him a month after my 18th birthday. And I was, for the entire time, I have to tell you, I was very, very, very scared. I was horrified, because this was something that, this was a burden that I was carrying for 7 years. This was something that I was hiding for 7 years. I couldn't talk to anyone about it, especially in elementary school. In a Catholic school, I couldn't talk to my friends. I couldn't talk to my teachers. I couldn't talk to my parents. I couldn't talk to my family. I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't feel like I could share this with anyone. And in high school, like I said, the fact that the hormones were coming up and I was thinking the things that I was thinking did not make it any easier. And finally, here I was making this step, I was taking this leap of faith, and I I believe firmly that in my heart God thought that it was time. That was the right time, and I was given myself, I was given the courage to actually say something at that point. I am happy to say that my best friend was incredibly supportive of me, and we ended up talking about it for another 2 hours. Um, I was I was bawling, I was crying, because it was very liberating to finally be able to tell someone, and him being as supportive as he was, I, I was I just thank God that I ended up deciding to have him be the very first person that I came out to, because if not, I honestly don't know where I would be today. And at some point during the conversation, I sort of mentioned to him that he was actually my first crush, my very first crush, which was part of the reason why I didn't really want to come out to him in the first place because I wasn't sure if that was gonna make things weird or complicated. Because I mean, and I didn't just bring it up. It was just something that he sort of asked, you know, who that I knew was I attracted to, just because he was curious. And then somehow he convinced me to admit to him that he was actually my very first crush, and I was absolutely shocked and surprised that at how well he took it. And not only did he take it well, but he said he was very, very flattered and very proud that he was my first crush. Um, he's straight himself, and he actually is about to get married, which I'm very, very excited about. To this lovely, lovely, his lovely, lovely wife, his wife to be. And one of the things that we like to joke about, even to this day, is if it wasn't for him, if I never met him, I probably would be straight. So yeah, thanks a lot. It's your fault. Gradually, I eventually started telling my other friends in high school. I didn't want to. I could have made a huge announcement because in high school I actually was one of the PA announcers. So I could have just kind of, you know, went all out and just came out to the entire school that way. Um, but that I didn't think that would be in poor. I thought that would be in poor taste, and I wanted it to be more of a personal thing. So I actually made it a point to tell my friends separately, one-on-one, and let them know. We were getting close to the senior prom, because my birthday is actually in February, and we were coming to the senior prom, and one of my very close friends, female friends, I had actually asked her to go to prom with me, you know, platonically as friends, and I definitely wanted to come out to her as well. So I gave her a call, and uh, you know, at first we did a little small talk. Hey, how are you doing? Are you excited for prom? And all that good stuff. And her mom, I think, was vacuuming in the background. And so I would start getting to the punchline about me being gay, about me coming out. And every single time I'm about to say the words, I hear the vacuum pass by on the phone. And so then I would stop, and then I would try again, and then, you know, I would build up to it, and then the vacuum would pass by. And this happened maybe about 3 times, until finally my friend, I could hear her on the phone, turn towards her mom and says, "Mom, would you please turn that thing off? Hark is about to come out to me." And I was like, but you know what? I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, because I think a good handful of people have told me that, yeah, we knew before you knew. We knew that you were gay before you knew. I don't know how to respond to that, but okay. And virtually 99.9% of my friends, or people in general that I have ever told, have been completely supportive by it. At worst, you know, there are people who, and I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say at worst. There are definitely a good amount of my friends who disagree with it, and I perfectly understand. Completely. I mean, as a Catholic Christian, I understand my friends who, you know, are not too keen on the idea. They don't really agree on this homosexuality, but they agree to disagree, and they're still my friends. And they even told me that you know, that wasn't going to change. The hardest person I think that I had to come out to was one of my best friends in college, who is Mormon, and great, most wonderful guy. Love him to death. He's a great person. And I literally thought that, you know, he would be the one person that would just shun me, or stop talking to me as soon as I came out to him. And again, he was great. He made it a point to let me know that he didn't agree with it, but we were still best friends. That wasn't going to change. And I absolutely, absolutely was amazed by that, and so grateful, so grateful, that my friends were very, very supportive to me during a time that I was still discovering myself. I was still trying to figure things out with my sexuality, and also how my faith fit into it too. But I'll talk more about that in another video. That is my story, and I'm glad to say that that coming out to my friends was very, very happy. My next video is going to be me coming out to my family, which was a different experience altogether. So anyway, until then, guys, love yourselves and love each other.